The aftermath. Walking in faith. Once you open your eyes, your logical mind will see the external world of facts and tell you that nothing has changed. Man, in the moment of his awakening to the imaginative life, must meet the test of sonship. Do not guide yourself by reasonable ideas or look for signs that it is working. Do remain conscious of this inner activity and know that the outer world is merely a projection of what you just did. The divine identity. You are the creator, radical shift in identity. The identification of Christ. The central figure of the Gospels is not a historical person, but the human imagination itself. The eternal body. The true, eternal body of every human being is the imagination, which is identified as God. All-powerful nature. Because all things were made by this power, nothing exists that was not first imagined. Miraculous potential. Once a person realizes their imagination is Christ, they can perform acts that appear miraculous to others. The stone of literal understanding must be struck to release the water of psychological meaning. You are invited to stop being a phantom of the earth and instead live as a member of the divine Jesus, which is your own imaginative power. By imagining better than the best we know, we don the wine of forgiveness and transform the violence and limitations of the world into the fulfillment of our heart's desires. In short, awake thou that sleepest. The world you see is not a fixed prison, but a canvas. Your imagination is the brush, and your assumptions are the paint. You have the power to be anything you desire to be. The law of assumption, how to change your world. The practical application of using your mind to change your circumstances. The secret of persistence. An assumption, even if it is currently false to your senses, will harden into fact if you persist in it. Living in the end. You must imagine yourself already in the state of your fulfilled desire to escape the jails of your current life. The power of feeling. The supreme test is your ability to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it becomes a physical reality. Ignoring the senses. A true judgment does not need to conform to the external physical reality you see right now. The master key, the law of assumption. The practical conclusion of this teaching is found in the test of sonship, the ability to enter into and partake of the nature of your opposite. If you are weak, you must say and feel, I am strong. This is not a lie. It is a spiritual command. The text provides a definitive promise. An assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Continuous imagination is the only requirement for the incarnation of desires. You do not need to struggle with the reasonable ideas and actions of the world to bring about change. Instead, you must sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it becomes a physical reality. As the text boldly states, to imagine a thing is so, makes it so. Living the abundant life. To truly live the abundant life, you must accept that you are the real man, a magnificent imagination, currently sleeping in the garden of the flesh. Awakening means recognizing that everyone and everything you encounter is rooted in you, and that you have a self-determined history. Inner cause and outer effect. This summary details the relationship between our internal thoughts and the external world. The world as a projection. The outer world and all its events are merely projections of the inner activity of the imagination. The causal world. Imagination is the inner causal world, while the physical world of the senses is merely the world of effects. Self-determined history. Because our reality is rooted in our own mental activity, every person has a history that they determine themselves. Taking responsibility. Man must believe that reality lies within him, realizing that he has chosen the conditions of his life through his own reimagining forgiveness, a mental transformation, This summary explains the unique definition of sin and forgiveness found in the text. Defining sin. Sin is not a moral failure, but a missing of the mark, or failing to achieve your ideal aim in life. Defining forgiveness. Forgiveness is the act of mentally identifying yourself with your ideal goal or aim. The ultimate test. The true test of your sonship or spiritual power is your ability to forgive, to mentally move from a state of lack to a state of fulfillment, becoming the opposite. Awakened imagination allows a person to enter into and partake of the nature of its opposite, such as a weak person claiming they are strong, step-by-step guide to your imaginal act. Sin is simply missing your mark or failing to achieve your aim. The action. Clearly identify one specific goal or state you wish to achieve. Don't worry about how it will happen. Focusing on the how is a trap of the logical mind. To open the immortal eyes of man inwards, you must quiet the external world of the senses. The action. Find a quiet place to sit or lie down. Relax your body until you feel less like a phantom of the earth, and more like the real man, which is your imagination. You need a mental construction that implies your wish is already fulfilled. The action. Create a short scene in your mind. If your goal is a new job, imagine a friend shaking your hand and saying, "Congratulations." If it's health, imagine yourself performing an activity that requires strength. The principle. This scene must imply the end result has already happened. Truth depends on the intensity of the imagination. The action. In your imagination, feel the texture of the hand you are shaking. Hear the specific tone of your friend's voice. Smell the air in the room. The principle. You are using the picturing power of the mind to make the internal state feel as real as a physical fact. This is the supreme test. You must enter into and partake of the nature of your opposite. The action. Feel the relief, the joy, and the naturalness of already being that person. The principle. An assumption, even if it seems false to your current senses, will harden into fact if you persist in this feeling. Final pillars of this realization. Forgiveness as identification. True forgiveness is not about pardoning others for sins. It is the identification of man with his ideal or aim in life. The rejection of logic. We cannot grasp the highest truths with the logical mind or reasonable deductions from the senses. The power of faith. Faith is redefined as faith in one's imagination. The belief that imagine that you are and you shall be. Causality. Every man must eventually see the relationship between his inner causal world of imagination and the outer world of effects.